वीडियो ऑफ, ठीक है फिर?
हाँ ओके। Yep, started. We're live now.
To go deeper in silence, to find the earth at your beginning, that innocence within, that innocence unfolding, from which flows the rivers of your soul. That holy place, abode of Him, first beloved child, red earth supports His fragrant joy, enchanting, dancing in your eternal spring, dancing in your eternal spring. Come the calls you to grow deeper in silence. Follow Him to find the living water. You will find your heart. You will find your heart in her sweet ocean. Majesty of company of saints you will be. The music of the breath of God, the holy breath of God, awakes the earth to joy. The ripples of her grace from the shores of your heart weave a tapestry of love. Her name resounds through the mountains and the sky, victorious. Then bow in silent adoration. Surrender in silent
Good evening, everyone. Jai Shri Mataji. Thank you for attending the collective footwork meditation today. Today's topic, we have actually got clearing on our right heart with the establishment of responsibility for our own growth, for helping grow in other people, to not take on too much responsibility, but not also to slack off from our responsibilities. So without further ado, let's put a bandhan on the water that we've got and raise our kundalinis, put ourselves in a bandhan with the prayer in our hearts to Shri Mataji to help us be in collective consciousness with our brothers and sisters during our footwork session today. So we've got a short talk of Shri Mataji to start with, just to settle our attention, to get that attention within ourselves, working on our right heart through the 16 names of Shri Sitaram, Shri Rama, who is the deity or the energy for our right heart. So we can either place our left hand through that on our right heart, or we can give, sorry, let me do this. So we place our left hand on our right heart. You can give bandhans and just clear out the vibrations. Or if you, and then again, as you're doing it a few times, you'll be checking your vibrations. The other thing is, again, moving, raising the left side and bringing down our right side and the overactive right side. So any of those that you feel comfortable with, any of those clearing techniques that you need to use or feel like you need to use, please feel free. So let us nice few deep breaths, settling our attention.
This is paroksh, is the outside, by which your material eyes can be projected more. You can see more. But if I say you have to see inside, you can't turn your eyes back to see inside. That you cannot do. So what is the method by which you can see inside, or feel inside, or go inside? Through our eyes, our attention goes out, we see everything. But supposing tomorrow something topples down, immediately our attention is attracted towards that happening. So inside us, there must be some arrangement, some happening that must be attracting our attention inside, and that's how we must be going inside. We have evolved from amoeba to this stage. We are human beings. Our evolution has come through our attention fixed outside. The happening has to go inside. But the evolution so far has been by going outside. Like some fishes felt the land and tried to crawl out, and they became the reptiles. The reptiles wanted to run fast, so they developed 4 legs as a tortoise. As animals, they could not eat, so they raised their heads. Things at the height they could not see, so they raised their body more. So all the evolution so far has come through the urge of seeking only, but it has been outside. We have been seeking food. As human beings, we are seeking power. We have been seeking money, possessions, comfort. But now the seeking has to go within. For example, when we are building a house, we build all the outside and everything properly. When it is all done outside, then you go inside and start decorating. In the same way, you have to go inside to achieve the last breakthrough. For example, we have made a fortress for ourselves, and we have to enter inside the fortress to enjoy it. We have to penetrate inside the house to enjoy it. But our attention is outside. We cannot go inside. So something has to happen that you are to be sucked in. Some sort of a vacuum is created inside by which you are sucked in. It's a beautiful arrangement which has been sahaja, means spontaneously growing within us.
Let's place our left hand on our right heart. Just moving our attention to the right heart, requesting Mother Kundalini to awaken within us, to give us the strength to face ourselves, to awaken the responsibility within ourselves to our growth, our spiritual ascent, to our spirit, to strengthen ourselves and the connection to the collective consciousness.
श्री राम के 16 नाम। श्री राम। ओम त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री राम साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। श्री दाशरथी। ओम त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री दाशरथी साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। श्री शूर। ओम त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री शूर साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। श्री लक्ष्मणानुचर। ओम त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री लक्ष्मणानुचर साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। श्री बलि। ओम त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री बलि साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। श्री काकुत्स्थ। ओम त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री काकुत्स्थ साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। श्री पुरुष। ओम त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री पुरुष साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। श्री पूर्ण। ओम त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री पूर्ण साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। श्री कौसल्येय। ओम त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कौसल्येय साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। श्री रघुत्तम ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री रघुत्तम साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। श्री वेदांत वेद्य ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री वेदांत वेद्य साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। श्री यज्ञेश ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री यज्ञेश साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। श्री पुराण पुरुषोत्तम ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री पुराण पुरुषोत्तम साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। श्री जानकी वल्लभ ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री जानकी वल्लभ साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। श्री श्रीमान ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री श्रीमान साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। श्री अप्रमेय पराक्रम ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री अप्रमेय पराक्रम साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः।
Now we can just balance our
This is a devotional song written by Sant Tulsidas. The description of Lord Rama.
just keeping our attention on the right heart. We'll just meditate for a few minutes.
Chandra Krupalu Bhajamana Harana Bhava Bhaya Darunam Harana Bhava Bhaya Darunam Shri Rama Chandra Krupalu Bhajamana Harana Bhava Bhaya Darunam Harana Bhava Bhaya Darunam Shri Rama Nava Kanja मुखकर कंज पद कंजारुणम् हरण भव भय दारुणम् श्री राम। नौमि जनक सुतावरम् हरण भव भय दारुणम् श्री राम। भज दीन बंधु दिनेश दाना वंश निकंदनम रघुनंद आनंद कंद कौशल चंद दशरथ नंदनम हरण भव भय दारुणम श्री राम। चापधर संग्राम जित खर दूषणम् हरण भव भय दारुणम् श्री राम। तुलसीदास शंकर शेष मुनि मन रंजनम् इति वदति तुलसीदास शंकर शेष मुनि मन रंजनम् मम हृदय कंज निवास कुरु कामादि खलदल गंजनम् हरण भव भय दारुणम् श्री राम। श्री रामचंद्र कृपालु भज मन हरण भव भय दारुणम् हरण भव भय दारुणम् श्री राम। श्री राम। श्री राम। श्री राम। श्री
We'll just get our feet out of the water, put ourselves in.
His qualities, if you have to imbibe, first of all, we have to understand the innate situation of Shri Rama. Shri Rama is placed on the right hand side of your heart. Right hand side, right heart. He is placed there. Now, in a human being, there is no right heart. If you tell somebody there's right heart, they say, what? There are 2 hearts or 3 hearts? In our Sahaja Yoga, we have 3 hearts. One is the left, another is the right, and one is the center. Now, the right heart is a very important thing. The right heart looks after the whole lungs, both the lungs, all the throat, the trachea, the nose, the inner part. The outer side is looked after, we can say the features are given by Shri Krishna. But the inner part of it is all done by Shri Rama. They are the same, but one acts as in the inner part, the another as the outer part. It gives you the ears. From the inner part, Shri Rama does. He gives you the eyes in the inner part of the eyes. Now, it's so important to have the inner side all right and the outer side. It's an example of Shri Rama. He never cared for the outer side or the outward looks of a person. Because he came before Sri Krishna, he tried to build up the inner side of a human being. So we can say, though he is on the right heart, he acts through your Hamsa chakra and partly through your Vishuddhi chakra in the inner side of it. Because Sri Krishna, in the inner side of it, is Sri Rama, is Sri Vishnu. So, when somebody is, say, not good looking according to the Western standard, according to me, the Western standards are rather funny. Because Western standards don't look like, neither like Krishna or Sri Rama. The person like Sri Rama was a very healthy, tall person with his hands up to the knees. Ajanubhav. He is the one who has Ajanubhav. And he was plump. Both of them were plump. They had to be plump people because they were, though they were born of the Agni, he was born of the Agni, but the water is the main element of Sri Vishnu. So they were all plump people. They were not thin like sticks, as today's modern ideas are, to be thin like sticks and like TB patients. But it doesn't mean all plump people are good. We always logically think that plump people are, if mother says so, then plump people are good. It's not the point. The inner side of it, I'm saying. The inner side of it is just the opposite. Inner side of it is absolutely beautiful and absolutely full of love, affection and warmth. A person who doesn't have these things is a sign of a person who is not a surgeon, first of all. A person who is very loud, talks loudly, speaks loudly, laughs at wrong places, must be half mad, but cannot be a surgeon. See, the softness of Sri Rama goes to the extremes where I call the sankocha, the formality, the formal. But it is in English language, formal is not the word, sankoch. He was once, when he was fighting Ravana, he was taking out with his arrow his 10 heads one after another. And if he took out one, then took out the second, the first one would come back. So because he had a kind of a blessing that nobody can kill him by hitting him on his head. So Lakshmana says, you know for definite that this Ravana cannot be killed by hitting on his head. So why don't you hit him in his heart? So he said, the reason is this, that just now in his heart is Mahalakshmi, the Sita. Sita is sitting in his heart. And how can I hit him on his heart? Because she's there, she might be hurt. So what's the use of hitting on the head, he said. He said, because once I start hitting him on the head fast, his attention will go there. As soon as his attention will go into his head, then I can hit him on his heart. See the sankoch. See the sankoch, the way he talked. Now, when it went ahead with it in his character, which was so beautiful, that you find he was such a consistent person. Whatever he said, all the life he carried that. For example, he said, I am the one who believes in one wife. Eka patni vrat. Now he had a very nice wife, no doubt, very beautiful wife, but she had gone to Ravana and he was left alone. When they wanted to start a kind of a yajna called as Rajasuya Yajna, which was meant to be the conquering the whole world. Then they asked him, you have to marry because you have to have your wife. They said, no, I can't marry because nobody could be like my wife and I can't marry. I can forego this kind of a yajna, but I can't marry again. So then they said, all right, there's only one thing you can do is to make a statue of Sita in gold. And you have to use her, that statue, as a wife representing. He said, that I will agree. He took away all his ornaments, everything, and made that statue, and he did this again. So whatever he said, he followed thoroughly. In his dharma, he was perfect. Another incident is that when Sita was lost, he never slept. He never slept on a bed, always on the Mother Earth. Never slept on a bed, always on the Mother Earth. The pain he had of his wife is very well described by all the poets of India. And when Sita left him ultimately, in a very mysterious way, she just disappeared in the Mother Earth, because Mother Earth had given her birth. So she disappeared into Mother Earth. Then Shri Rama became absolutely lost and he jumped in the river Sharayu and disappeared in the water element from where he had come. Now this man had to give up his wife. In these contrasts, you can see the wave rising and falling of a personality. The society in which he lived, the state which he ruled, had an objection for a wife who had lived with Ravana. And the public started talking about it. So as a good king, he just decided that his wife should be left forever. And then he sent her on a beautiful chariot with his Prime Minister and his brother Lakshmana, who took her down and left her, told her this is what has happened, and that Shri Rama has asked her to take you down to the ashram of Valmiki. As a result of that, she got very upset. And she said, she was Adi Shakti, so she doesn't have to bother. She said, you just leave me here. Very self-respecting person. She didn't say, no, 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 I'll come to him, or I'll sue him, I'll go in the courts, get all his money, how dare he throw me out. Nothing of the kind. That's the grace of a woman. Graciously, she said, all right, now you have listened to your brother, I'm your sister-in-law elder too. Now you obey me. And I tell you, as your sister-in-law, that you can now go, leave me here alone, and I don't want you to go any further with me to deport me with somebody. And she was pregnant. Here if it happens, of course, horrible things can happen. But in India, if such a thing happens, the wife will kill herself or she won't be able to bear it. I think both things are just the same in escape. If there's no aggression, then there is recession. But she said, no, I have to give birth to these two children. I can look after myself. All right, graciously he's done it, I have nothing. And please tell him not to worry about me. And she told Shri Rama, Shri Lakshmana, that all right, you look after him. That's all I want. And she told the chief minister, the mantri, that you must look after the kingdom. See the dignity, see the balance, see the character, the personality of Sri Rama. He was called as Maryada Purushottama. And look at his wife. She was equal to him in every way.
Let's put our attention on our heart. And we just pray and request, humbly request, Mother to awaken and establish the majestic quality of Shri Rama within, loving, generous, humble, to give us the strength to stand on our righteousness and the dignity within us. And we can either listen or read the Kavach of Shri Rama and finish off as and when we feel comfortable.
Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Asya Shri Rama Raksha Stotra Mantrasya Buddha Kaushika Rishi Shri Sita Ramachandro Devata Anushtup Chanda Sita Shakti Srimad Hanumana Kilakam Shri Ramachandra Prityarte Rama Raksha Stotra Jape Vinyoga Atta Dhyanam Dhyaye Dhajanumahum Drutashara Danusham Bhadda Padmasanastam Pitam Vaso Vasalam Nava Kamala Dalaspardi Netram Prasannam Vamankaruda Sita Mukha Kamala Mila Lochanam Niradavam Nanalankara-diptam Dadatam Murujata Mandaram Ramachandram Iti Janam Charitam Raghunathasya Shatakoti Pravistaram Ekaikam Aksharam Punsam Mahapatakanashanam Dhyatvanilotpadashyamam Ramam Rajivalochanam Janaki Lakshmanopetam Jatamukuttamanditam Sasitunadanurvana Paninaktan Sharantakam Svalilaya Jagatratum Avirbhutam Ajam Vibhum Ramaraksham Patet Pradnya Apagnim Sarvakamadam Shiro me Raghava Patu Balam Dasharatatmaja Kausalyeyo Drushau Patu Vishvamitra Priya Shruti Granam Patu Makatrata Mukkam Saumitri Vatsala Jivam Vidyanidhi Patu Kantam Bharata Vandita Skandau Divya Yudha Patu Bujau Bhagnesha Karmoka Karau Sita Pati Patu Rudayam Jamadagnajit Madhyam Patu Karadvansi Nabim Jambavadashraya Sugrivesha Kati Patu Saktini Hanumat Prabhu Urura Gotama Patu Rakshakula Vinashakrut Janoni Setu Kruta Patu Jangedasha Mukantaka Padau Bibhishana Shrida Patura Mokilam Vapuhu Etam Rama Balopetam Rakshamya Sukruti Pate Sachirayu Sukhi Putri Vijayi Vinayi Bhavet Patala Bhutala Vyoma Charinaschadmacharina Nadrashtum Api Shaktaste Rakshitam Ramanamabihi Rameti Ramabhadreti Ramachandreti Vasmaram Narona Lipyate Papair Bhuktim Muktim Chavindati Jagajaitra Mantrena Ramanamna Virakshitam Yakante Darayetasya Karastaha Sarvasiddhaya Ajapanjaranamedam Yorama Kavacham Smaret Avyahatadnya Sarvatra Labate Jaya Mangalam Adistavanyata Swapne Rama Rakshamimam Hara Tatalikitavan Prata Prabhudo Buddha Kaushika Paramakalpa Vrukshanam Viramasakalapadam Aviramas-trilokanam Rama Shriman Sana Prabhu Taruna Rupa Sampanau Sukumarau Mahabalau Pundarika Vishalakshau Chira Krishna Jinambarau Palamula Shinau Dantau Tapasau Brahmacharinau Putrau Dasharatasyaitai Pratarau Rama Lakshmanau Sharanyau Sarvasattvanam Shristau Sarvadanushmatam Rakshakuranihantarau Trayetam Noraguttamau Attasaryadanushya Vishu Sprusha Vakshaya Shuganishanga Sanginau Rakshanaya Mama Rama Lakshmana Vagrata Patisadaiva Gachchatam Sannada Kavachi Kadgi Chapabanadaro Yuva Kachchan Manoratosmakam Rama Patu Sakshmana Ramo Dasharati Shuro Lakshmana no Charau Bali Kakutsta Purusha Purna Kausalye Yoraguttama Vedanta Vedyo Yadnyesha Purana Purushottama Janaki Vallabha Shriman Aprameya Parakrama Ityetani Japan Nityam Madbhakta Shradhayan Vita Ashramedadikam Punyam Samprapnoti na samshaya Ramam Durvadana Shyamam Padmaksham Pitavasasam Stuvanti Nama Birdvyair Nate Samsarino Naraha Ramam Lakshmana Purvajam Raghuvaram Sitapatim Sundaram Kakustam Karunarnavam Gunanidhim Viprapriyam Dharmikam Rajendram Satyasandam Chasharatattanayam Shyamalam Shantamurtim Vande Lokabhiramam Raghukulatillakam Raghavam Ravanarim Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Pataye Namaha Shri Rama Rama Raghunandana Rama Rama Shri Rama Rama Bharatagraja Rama Rama Shri Rama Rama Rana Karkasha Rama Rama Shri Rama Rama Sharanam Bhava Rama Rama Shri Ramachandra Charano Manasa Smarami Shri Ramachandra Charano Vachasa Grunami Shri Ramachandra Charano Shirasa Namami Shri Ramachandra Charano Sharanam Prapadye Mataramu Matpita Ramachandra Swami Ramu Matsaka Ramachandra Sarvasvame Ramachandro Dayalur Nanyam jane neva jane na jane Dakshine Lakshmano Yasyava metu janakatmaja Puratu marutiryasyam Vanderagunandanam Lokaviramam ranarangadiram Rajivanetram Raghuvamshanatam Karunya Rupa Karuna Karantam Shri Rama Chandram Sharanam Prapadye Manojavam Marutatulya Vegam Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtam Vatatmajyam Vanarayukta Mukyam Shri Rama Dutam Sharanam Prapadye Kujantam Rama Rameti Madhuram Madhuraksharam Aruya Kavita Shakam Vande Valmiki Kokilam Apadam Apahartaram Dataram Sarvasampadam Lokabhiramam Shri Ramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham Arjanam Bhavabijanam Arjanam Sukha Sampadam Tarjanam Yamaduttanam Rama Rameti Garjanam Ramo Rajamani Sada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Bhaje Ramana Bihata Nishachara Chamu Ramaya Tasmai Nama Ramanasti Parayanam Parataram Ramasya Dasoshmyaham Ramechitalaya Sadabhavatu me O Rama Mammudara Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Ramanama Varaname Iti Shri Buddhakaushika Virachitam Shri Ramaksha Stotram Sampurnam Shri Sitarama Chandrarpanam Astu Sakshat Shri Adishakti Mataji Shri